everybody. Welcome to Neena Expressions, where art, story, and healing come together. My name's Neena. I'm a performance artist, educator, therapeutic coach, and storyteller. Through this channel, I hold space for meaningful conversations and creative expressions. Today, I am honored to share a space with Perla Luna, an artist I met through the Artist's Way weekly meetup I hold every Saturday. Let's explore the inspiration behind her journey together. Hi, Perla.
Hi Nina, how you been?
Been really well. How about you?
I'm good, thank you. Just crazy with the university and all these things from college. So yeah, but good.
How was your semester?
Good. Actually, I just got my grades and I did pretty good. I have like hundreds. It's like here we go from 0 to 100. So I got like 300 and 190. So it's pretty good for me.
Amazing. That is so great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You worked really hard for that.
Yes, yes, like yeah.
That's so
I'm so
cool.
happy. I'm so happy about that. Yeah.
I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
So, would
What
you
up?
mind? What's up?
What about your semester? I was just asking.
Oh, my semester, it went pretty similar to yours. It was very
Nice.
challenging
Yeah.
physically. And, because I have the clinic on top of school. So it's very challenging in a sense with my autoimmunity just flaring up really bad. But other than that, my grades were really good too. And I just
Nice.
tried my best. I was like, got to give it my best shot. So
Yes.
I felt really
Amazing.
happy about the experience. And thank you so much for asking.
Sure. Yeah.
And
Nice.
yeah, through the interview, if you want to ask me questions, you're welcome to. It doesn't have to
Okay.
be just one way, but if you want to, you can ask me anything you'd like.
Okay.
So,
Good.
would you like to tell people what brought us together, how we met?
Yeah. So we met by the book of the artist way. So Nina just start a group and it's like we can join every Saturday, and I just jumped in there, and it was just pretty awesome. She's so great with these meetings and how she handles everything. So we met there and we connect and feel inspired. We inspire each other, and it was just a grateful, uh, more than 12 week. I think we did it right, like a
Yeah.
little more, and and it was just so awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, I'm so glad I met you through there. I felt like we had so much resonance, and even our other person that was in our group, just it just was really fun to
Yes.
connect with both of you. And why did you want to start participating in those meetings? Like, what made it interesting for you to like go read the book, get into the meetings? What was that all about?
So I read the book last year, and I did the 12 weeks by myself, and I think I just need to connect with artists as well. So I did it again with you guys and with this group, and it was just a totally different experience. I was so diligent before with my work by myself, but when I start connecting with you with this group, it was just like a different level. So the way that my art improved when I was just talking with you about your art and your day and my art and my day. It was just kind of pushing me to grow, you know? So, yeah, I think it just gave me the way to explore myself again. And, and yeah, it's just kind of remind me to just, like, it was a way of creativity form to love myself again.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, since the group's like complete now, have you continued with your practice, with your self-love, with your art and everything?
Yeah, so with this final part of the semester, it was kind of hard just to keep going with the morning pages and the artist day, but I managed to do somehow like more the artist date. I think I was more like just trying to do half an hour just by myself, just doing something artistic that I love, and I managed to do it. But with the morning pages, I think I having troubles just to keep doing daily.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I think I did a pretty good job, like just keep going. Now that I have more time, it's just been more artistic, and I just having more time to love myself. And yeah, I think that's great when you just finish like this stressful part of the semester, and now you have more time. It's just like I just want to enjoy like life.
That's great. Do you have the summer off?
Yes, yes. So I'm just start working with some like projects that I have, but it's just going to be my own stuff. So yeah,
That's exciting.
yeah.
Well, thank you for telling us about the engagement you've had with your art through the artist way. So, could you tell us a little bit more about you and what you're into, your art? Maybe tell us where you live, anything that you'd like us to know.
Okay, so I am a Perla, and I'm a multidisciplinary artist. It was so hard for me to just get to that definition because I have always say I'm a singer. But since I started exploring so many arts during all these years, I just realized I cannot be just a singer, and it isn't bad, but for me it wasn't fulfilling me just to say I'm a singer. So I'm an artist from Mexico. I live in Hermosillo, Sonora, and I'm a singer and songwriter. I do teach singing also. I'm like a vocal coach, and also I draw, paint, and write. And I am currently studying music, and the music degree and visual arts at the university. And I'm just like love exploring different creativity paths and like mixing with languages also, styles and yeah, art forms. Like I also want to create more content online and about music and creativity. Yeah.
That is amazing. Thank you so much for telling us that. And how do you serve your community?
That's wow, that's a good question. So I think um, with connection, like just try to connect with people, um, just a place where they can feel safe, um, just to be themselves. Also, just like sharing my voice, I think it resonates with so many people that is kind of serving my community, even though it sounds like weird. Like just by sharing your voice with people, like you realize that they feel the same way, or like you help them somehow. Um, yeah, just I think my goal is just to inspire people and to also get inspired and supported.
Yeah. Well, I remember when I first heard your voice on, I believe it was one of your Facebook posts. I saw
Yeah,
you doing a performance and it was really amazing. And I just
thank you.
immediately felt a connection to you. I thought your voice was just so honest and so beautiful. So and
Thank
that was before we actually started the group. So
Yeah.
I was really
Okay.
excited to meet you because you're right, your voice did connect me to you. And I think that what I learned from you through the group is that your voice is your instrument, and that is how you connect with people. And that's like a thing that brings you a lot of joy. And
Hmm.
you've had a lot of great experiences with your singing. So I'm so glad that you do that and that you share that with people. I think that's just so awesome.
Thank you. That's amazing. Thank you.
So I just wanted to ask you, what is your definition of community? And maybe I should have asked you that first.
Mm, I think like what we did with our Saturday sessions with the artist way, that was community for me. Like you shared your experience, I share my experience. We help each other. We like support each other. We inspire each other, but also we connect. You know, I think connection is pretty lost right now, um, and I think that's like the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about community. Like we need to connect with each other. That's for me kind of the definition.
Well, you just said something. You said you feel like connection is lost right now. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, I think like people don't want to go deep. Like they just want to, oh, how are you? Good. They don't want to actually know how are you doing. Like I'm not doing great right now, or doing it. Like I'm excited because I did this and that. Like I think people really don't want to know what more deeply like know you, and and yeah, I think it's just superficial sometimes. Yeah.
I'm curious, why do you think that that has happened?
Wow. Um.
Sorry, I'm going off script here a little bit.
No, like it's fine, but let me think. um. I think life is like rushing us, so we try to fulfill so many things, and we try to survive, you know, and sometimes we don't, we are going too fast, that like just stopping and asking someone how are you doing, and really actually pay attention to how are they doing, it it's just wasting time, you know. So it's like this is not going to bring food to the table. This is not going to make me successful person by like just stopping and just asking someone how are they, hugging them, just speak, like talk to them, and how are they doing, you know. I
Yeah.
think that that's kind of the main issue. Like we're just trying to like check things from our days. So like um yeah, and that make us like separate each other. Like don't
Mhm.
bother me right now. I'm trying to check my list. I don't know, kind of.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. People get too busy with their lives and kind of forget what
Hmm.
it means to be in community or with other people. And sometimes maybe they take for granted the people that are there all the time
Yeah,
and just kind
yeah.
of assume they're doing okay when maybe if you ask them, you would find out the truth, but then you'd have to hear that too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's so hard to hear people. Like, you just want them to hear you, but
Mhm.
then when you have to hear people, it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting. And
Yeah. Well, and I think that's something we did in the group. We set this kind of precedence about it doesn't matter how you're feeling. Like, even if you're having a bad day, you can tell us about that. And it doesn't always have to be great because part of life is going to be like dips and valleys, and it's not always
Hmm.
going to be like always just roses. So,
Yeah, and I love that from the group that we were so raw that
mhm,
this is how I'm feeling, and it was so judge free. Like I I know I can say like the most heinous things, and I wouldn't be judged by that. Not
mhm,
because I was, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not because you're bad, it's because you're feeling that right now.
mhm.
And by saying it out loud, you just realize, oh, I don't feel that way, but I was feeling that way because it was just here inside me. I just needed to let it out just to know that's not the way I'm thinking.
Yeah. And then also maybe having someone to talk to about it, it just kind of relieves that pressure a little bit. Maybe it just changes your perspective a little bit because I know one thing we
Hmm.
did in the group is that we would give each other space to talk and not answer.
Yeah. Yes.
Unless they asked for it, or maybe at the end, maybe say a comment here and there, but just give people that time to just verbally express. And I felt like that all also added to the like easiness of it, or not feeling like you had to put on like a show, right?
Yeah, and I think that was challenging to me because sometimes when I'm listening to people, I just want to give them an advice or just to like share kind of the same experience. Like I just felt like I have to. But it was so challenging because sometimes like I don't have anything to say with your situation or the other person. And I was just I right now I don't have anything to say but listen. And it was hard to me just to say that was enough because sometimes you don't need like someone else's experience or someone else's advices. You just want to be heard.
Mhm.
And for me, that realization, it it was hard for me just to say it's enough just to hear and not to comment something about someone else's life. I don't know if if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like holding space for someone and just kind of being like that person that's there for them. And I do have to say, I thought you were so great at holding space, and there were a lot of things that we were all going through situationally that I thought you just held that space with such grace and such
Wow,
calmness.
thank you.
So I didn't know that that was hard for you because it seemed kind of natural.
Yeah, I was always trying to. What happened to me that is similar to that, or like how can I engage that part so you don't feel like you wasn't being heard, and I was always trying to say it, but I just realized that no, it's okay if I don't say not if I don't say anything, just listen to them. Just
Mhm.
listen to what are they saying, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And back to that comment you made earlier about how people are so busy and just kind of getting through life and checking off all the boxes. Isn't it, doesn't it seem like people, all they really need is someone to listen to them, just even if it's for 5 minutes or 2 minutes?
Yes, that's so funny because I worked like years ago in like call center so sometimes they weren't even saying what they want. They were just saying their day, my day is this and that, and that's why I'm so angry with you. Like they were just they just wanted to stay like bent. They just want to bend with someone. It doesn't matter what some anonymous person on the phone. They just wanted to say how they day was, and they were so angry because I don't know, like the food wasn't arriving or something,
Yeah.
and they told you the whole day just to tell you, and so the food is late, and it's like you should just tell me that so I can fix it, but they just keep going, and yeah, so they just want to be listened. I realized that on that job. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to ask you, you've already told us a little bit about your singing and that's how you like to connect with others. Is there anything else that you're offering community right now, like that you are offering in your life, in your art, in your purpose that you're offering community?
Mm, I don't think I understand that one.
So, I mean, it's really like, let's say you go out every day, you're doing your thing, you're in school, you do your singing career. Um, what do you offer community besides those two things? Like you probably engage with people at school, you probably engage with your family. What do you think it is that you offer people? Like, what is it? And maybe it was what we already
Mm,
discussed. Like, maybe it's that I'm a good listener or I'm authentic, or what do you think it is?
mm, I think, and it's just funny because I always said like I'm kind of a dog. Like if I could be an animal, I'm like a dog. Like it's always there, just like the best friend. I think my art is kind of the friend. So I think it just my work feels like a friend or like a mirror to someone.
Oh my
Life.
gosh.
Uh-huh.
Tell me more
So
about that.
so I don't know, it's just funny because I always say like I feel like if I'll be an animal I'll be a dog because it's like the best friend. Sometimes like dogs don't talk to you. They're just with you, you know? So uh, they're like company. So I think that what I can offer to community. It sometimes it's just not like I was telling you to, oh, I have this experience that is similar. I need to tell her about that. Is sometimes I'm just company. I'm just there through this difficult or happy moment. But it's just funny because people always laugh. Like I feel like I'm a dog. I sometimes I don't have to I don't have anything to tell you, but just to be with you
Oh,
like a dog, you know. So that's why it's like I think sometimes we just try to make our art so meaningful, like this is worth it. Please listen to it. Please look at it. It's worth it. But sometimes it's just company, you know. And I think that's valuable. Like that's it worth it because it's just with you, you know.
gosh, that's making me feel so emotional. I lost my dog last year on
Oh, I'm
Valentine's
sorry.
Day, and he was with me for 18 years. And I
Wow.
mean, he was literally my best friend. And you're right, all he basically did was just be with me. But,
Yeah.
I think that it's kind of going back to what we were saying earlier. It's that same point that keeps coming up, which is we as humans have a really hard time in discomfort or being in an
Hmm.
uncomfortable situation, whereas our dog or our pet is willing to just sit there through the discomfort, and they're not like uncomfortable. They're just like, okay. I remember when when I started getting really bad autoimmunity, like with arthritis, I couldn't go down the stairs very well. So I had to
Okay.
just go down the stairs slowly, and my dog just kind of mimicked me when I would walk down the
Oh.
stairs. Like I would do this like thing where I had to put both feet on one stair, both feet on one stair, and then just go down that way. And he just completely did the same thing. And I was like,
Yes.
He
Yes.
obviously had no issues walking or running or anything, but he just had that much empathy that he just was like, okay, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, and now that you mention that, like sometimes when we are like the trouble, if you want to say it like that, because um like I just want to say an example. Like my grandma, she's not walking really well right now. So when we take her to the park, she's going slowly. So we are going with her in a slow, it's just like enjoying the view. And she sometimes feels like, oh, you go, please. I'll reach you out later. Like,
Mm.
I just go where you want. Like, no, we want to be with you, and we're going to like your pace because we want to be with you. But like, I feel sometimes when you are the kind of trouble, like, or like making people go through this, like you don't want them. You don't want to be that how I say, like, burden.
Yeah,
You don't want to be that. So I just listened to my grandma when she was like, go, just have fun. I catch you later. And like, no, I want to be with you. Like, I'm going to your place because I want to be with you. So, yeah, I think sometimes we reject empathy from others because we feel we're a burden right now.
that is so huge. And I think that so many people are struggling with that. I think that what you said is so true for elderly people. I think just on a daily basis, I think as people age and lose their mobility and lose their connection with others, they just kind of don't want to be a burden. And I do know that that happened to me when I that whole thing happened to me at kind of a younger age.
Hmm.
So I also felt the same way that someone is elderly. That's exactly how I felt because
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, well, I got invited to this thing, but I can't really walk very well. I guess I just won't go because I don't want them to have to deal with me.
Yes.
And then they actually stopped inviting me after a while. So that's the other sad part about how I think that like spaces that are missing in community is when people stop being quote unquote productive, or when
Hmm.
people aren't like doing something, then somehow their status or their value changes. Or maybe in
Hmm.
their mind, they think that it changes. That, like, oh, I'm not productive
Yes.
or I'm not able to do anything, so therefore I'm not that useful. So that's a
Hmm.
little bit of a
Hmm.
problem too, because we should be valued just by being here, just by being a spirit, just by being alive. But
Yeah.
that seems to get really twisted in society where people are just like either they think of themselves as a burden, or other people just kind of forget about them after a while.
Yeah, like where you're saying, it just remind me like we just want like in social media right now, it's like what are you bringing to the table kind of conversation. and and I think like sometimes what are you bringing to the table is not what you want to bring but what you can right now. And and that make you feel like you're not bringing anything to the table. So what I was saying about like company right now, like with my art, is sometimes like you just want to say this is awesome, this is I'm bringing this to the table like with my art. So you need to buy it like right away because it's just awesome. But sometimes you're bringing like, oh, here's like my art is this and that what I can offer, and you feel like it's not enough because this other artist is bringing this to the table. So, and sometimes there are people who are going to just side you, like, why are you bringing that to the table? Like, why are you bringing? Look at this. So I think that's the conversation that is going right now, like even with relationship, like, oh, is she bringing something to the table? Is he bringing something to the table? So when we are going through an autoimmunity, sometimes we feel like we're not bringing anything to the table because we're not as productive as other people, or as we used to be.
Yeah.
and and we feel like we don't worth it, like we're worthless because I just can bring this to the table. And as artists, I think that happened to us a lot. Like, I cannot bring the same amount of thing that that artist on Instagram is putting to the table. It's bringing to the table. Like, I just can't do this, so it's not worth it. So I just better save it. You know.
Yeah.
So. Mhm.
Well, you just said some really important things regarding like, this conversation about productivity and how we already feel as artists in terms of feeling like we're not good enough. Like that's something that a lot of artists struggle with, no matter where they're at. And I wanted to ask you the next question.
Mhm.
Considering all those things like autoimmunity, which I know you'll tell us a little bit about later, and your art and your contributions, how do you want people to engage with your art?
Hmm. Well, I think I I want my art not to be a reminder that we don't have to be perfect. Like, it's okay. It's okay the way we are. Um, and just art is to express ourselves. So we don't have, like, that's what I was telling you. Like, we don't have to bring this huge thing to the table to be worth it. The way we are expressing ourselves is the thing that we're bringing to the table. And yeah, so sometimes just being present is enough. And and I, yeah, that the way I want to engage is just to be friends with, like, yeah, like my art be a companion, just company to you. Mhm.
That is amazing because that word came back up, like it came back from earlier when we were talking about, you and what do you offer. And it sounds like you're saying your art is similar in the way that you're offering, this is where I'm at, and I want to neutralize this idea of having to like be a certain way or a certain place or a certain status. You're just neutralizing that and saying, here's where I am, right?
Yes, because like before I was like, I told you, like, on, like, this, Nina, but just to kind of context, um I did the college before and I stopped. I was like 3 years, um like, away, and then I just came back to finish my degree. So the previous time, when I was on university, when I met someone that was so talented, I was like, what are they, like, seeing on me? Like, why are they with me? Like, why are we friends? They are so talented, and I don't think I can bring that much to the table. I don't think I'm that worth it. And with these years, I just realized, like, maybe they saw something that I wasn't seeing on myself.
Mhm.
Maybe I am talent on a different way. And this time, I just start college again, and really talent, like, so talented people, like, start being my friends. Like, I was so surprised. Like, I was telling every time my mom or my siblings, like, oh, this guy is amazing. He played the violin, so, like, wow, he's like a genius. And I was like, oh, this singer, she's so great. And I was just like like telling them their genius and talent to every single person that I came across, and they start being really good friends with me,
Hmm.
and I just want to tell the past Perla that they're seeing that you are talented too. That's why they want to be with you. And because like talent people want to be with talent people, like artists want to be with artists, like they live, like what Julia is saying on her book, like um you want to be with other artists, you want to help other artists because you are an artist, and that's the way I start seeing. And I'm like, okay, now I can stop having this syndrome that I'm not good enough, and trying to see what are they seeing on me. I am talent. I am enough. I'm worth it. My art is worth it. And they are seeing something that I don't want to see, but I'm going to force myself to see it now.
That is so beautiful. I am so glad. So, do you feel like you see it now?
I kind of, yeah, like right now is like I think I'm on that path to just trying to accept where I am and where I'm at. But yeah, I like the way they just want to be friends with me, with these amazing artists and amazing um, people. Like it just have to mean something, you know. So yeah, like and they're genuine, really talented people and genuine people. Like yeah,
That is
yeah,
so
it's amazing.
amazing. I'm so glad that you see yourself in them and that you
Oof.
know that they see themselves in you.
Yeah, that's it. It has been so beautiful, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like true community.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So earlier you were telling us about autoimmunity, and I was
Mhm.
wondering if you could tell us your story of autoimmunity and how it's affected your life.
Well, so I was um, diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was 19. So, but I took more like than a year with doctor visits, just trying to figure out what I had. Um, and it was that year was so difficult because I was going doctor to different doctors, and they are giving me different kind of medication that wasn't working. And so I remember I gave up and I say like, I hate doctors. I don't want to go to the doctors anymore because this is so painful and they're not helping, and we are just wasting a lot of money with no results. And and my mom was the one pushing me to just keep going to different kind of doctors and specialists and everything. And I'm thankful, really thankful for that. Um, so yeah, like a year later, at my 19 years old, they I got the diagnosis with Crohn's disease. It was a really tough time for the family, and we were talking about that, like feeling like a burden. So I was so um, upset and so sad because I was feeling that way with my parents. Like they just keep spending money on doctors and medications that wasn't working, and I wasn't getting good at all. I was getting worse and worse because things were getting more like more deep kind of. I don't know, like I wasn't doing anything that make the pain go away, so it just kept increasing. um this is like I think like the lesson that as a person with a chronic disease, um you start listening to your body a lot more. Like you just need to pay close attention to what things make you react, your body to react that way. And and there are like, for me it was like even the body lotion, the toothpaste, all of these things I need to change them all because they were affecting my health. So at first, of course, like a food, like started making different kind of food, but it wasn't working that well. When a doctor just the same that told me that I had Crohn's disease told me like, what lotion are you using? What toothpaste? What perfume? And all these things. And he was like, just change them all. Use something more organic or I don't know, more natural. And and I start changing those things and feeling way more better, like way more. And instead of like medicine, a different kind of medicine, I start like making infusions, like teas, more natural things that start helping me. It's like you need to that it works, but in a really slow um, way, like you need to be really patient so the tea works. And of course, I'm not against medicine. I use medicine also with my autoimmunity, but it just like this taught me to slow down. Like you just need to listen to your body what it needs. And yeah, I think to be just gentle with myself, and I'm still learning to deal with this. And now it's much better because on 2019, I think it was kind of the worst season of that, and that's when I quit university because I wasn't feeling good at all. It was just crisis after crisis after crisis with this. So I quit, and now I'm feeling way better. I know how to treat myself more gentle and to be more patient with myself. And now also I am not that perfectionist because what I was saying earlier, that it was so stressful not to bring enough to the table, and I think that affects also the autoimmunity. So yeah.
Yeah, that is incredible. Thank you for telling us that. And I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I know you're dealing with arthritis too. How are you doing with that?
Oh, well, actually, you're right about stress. It makes it worse, and I don't know. When I don't do as much, so that's the weird conundrum, right? When I don't do as much and I'm doing a lot of self-care, when I'm not being quote unquote productive or whatever, and you do more self-care, I feel better. And
Okay.
when I'm trying to be productive and do other things that are more productive in that way, my autoimmunity gets worse. So
Mm-hmm.
I want to strike a balance where I can feel like I am being productive and then still give myself time for self-care every day. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where the challenge is because I think that the expectations, we have to change our expectations and we have to change um, just kind of our ideas, or at least I feel like I have to change my ideas on what I view as productivity, what I view as being important and
Yes.
not, and just focus on self-healing and maybe that would be fine. So that's actually, a huge part of my art too, and why I've created this channel just to talk to people about their journey. And I think that what I'm hearing in a lot of people's journey is that we do have to change our expectations of ourselves and we have to be much kinder to ourselves.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I remember something that my psychologist told me like I was so stressful because I need to create more music and create, and that was my goal. And I was getting so sick, and I was upset because I was getting sick, and I cannot create more music. So she told me, um, so if Perla doesn't exist, does her music exist? I was like, no, because I need to create it, right? And like, so you need to be your priority so your music keep like existing, like keep being created. And that just clicked me. Oh, yes, because if I'm sick, I create less.
Yeah.
Because if I'm like on the bed because I feel so burnout, like I cannot create anything. So that just clicked me a lot. I remember because I told her I love video games and I have not playing video games like in 10 years. Like I don't want to even buy like I don't know, a PlayStation or something, because I don't want to waste my money on that and I don't want to waste my time on that, and I have so many things to do. And she was like, there you go, that's why you're burnout. Like you're not listening to yourself. And, and yeah, it was hard to just say, okay, I'll save money for buying my video game or whatever because I want to buy a microphone or a headphones or different things that will help my music to just, I don't know, pay the musicians or something like that. But I did it, and now that I'm taking my time to play video games, like I'm going to play this time, and I'm just going to play video games. I'm feeling way better, and I think I'm been creating more. Um, Even though it's not out there yet, I'm been creating more art, and that's true. Like that just clicked me. Like I need to be gentle with myself
Mm.
because I'm my priority, and then my art is way, it's not the first thing that I need to take care of. It's
Right.
myself.
Right. That's huge. And that was actually part of my next question, which you've partially answered, which is how does autoimmunity play into your art? Would you say that it's taught you some things?
Yeah, yeah, I think like um before my autoimmunity, I was like, I'm a strong woman. I cannot let other people see I'm vulnerable. and and now it's just I am a strong woman, but now I'm more vulnerable. Like I let people to see that I'm healing, and now I'm not perfect, that I'm uh, vulnerable and resilience, how I say,
That's
uh-huh.
perfect. Yes.
Yeah, so and yeah, I think what I said, just like appreciate the act of creating, but it's not my priority anymore. Like it is a priority, but I am first. And I need to take care of myself. And that, I think that was like, now putting it into words for me is, it makes sense. Like I think, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I think for me, the lesson that I had for having an autoimmunity is that I wasn't putting myself first. And my body was just screaming that you need to put yourself first, you know? And I was putting everybody else first, my art first, so many things before me. And I think for myself, I'm talking for myself, that my body was screaming, hey, you need to be your priority. Like your body needs to be your priority, yourself, your mind, your spirit, and then the other things will come. But yeah, for me, I think that's the lesson that I God with this, and it's and I think sometimes we have so much noise that we don't listen to ourselves. And that's what I like for the artist date. I think those things are shouting the noise. Like, let me just be, and you start listening the whispers of your body, of your mind, what or your needs. You start actually listening to your needs that you were saying, I don't even know that I need this. Like I was telling you that for me, drawing was like a dream for another life. Like I just need to focus on music. I cannot draw because I need to focus on music. When I started listening to that Perla that wanted to draw and start drawing, I start creating better music. Like I just start creating more, and that was a really whisper that, hey, I want to draw. But I wasn't listening because of all this noise. Yeah.
That is such a powerful message, and I am so grateful that you are telling people that I mean, unfortunately, sometimes autoimmunity will teach us that. And I think for artists, it's important, right, to have like a self-care plan.
Yeah.
There's probably people watching that don't have autoimmunity. There are probably people watching that do. And I just really like what you said about putting yourself first because you're the creator of your art
Yeah.
and you have to be
Mhm.
able to be well and not just survive but thrive. And when you're in that state of like vulnerability and calmness and relaxation, you're able to create better art or create art at all, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a great message, and that's great advice for me and for other people that are probably watching. So I want to say thank you so much for
No,
sharing
thank you.
today and for being so vulnerable and really just being so real. It's just been such a pleasure talking to you. So,
Yes, I love it. Thank you for inviting me first, and thank you for being so patient with me.
oh, of
I
course,
really appreciate
yeah, I
it.
was I was doing school stuff too, so it's perfect timing. And how do people connect with you on your socials? Where do they find you?
So I'm on YouTube and Instagram. Like basically, I have my TikTok too. I'm like working on it, and it's just Perla Luna V at the end. And yeah, YouTube. I have my music. Also, it's on Spotify and Apple Music and all these platforms for streaming. Um, but yeah, it's on YouTube and Instagram also mainly.
Great. If you could share those with me, I think I maybe have your information, but if you could email that to me, I'll add it to the show notes so
Okay,
people
sure.
can find you. And once again, thank you so much. I want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us today on Neena Expressions. And if this conversation sparked something in you, I invite you to explore more art, stories, and support that I'm offering here. You'll find connections here that are all rooted in transformation and healing. Until next time, thanks, everybody.
Bye.